Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. Jake of the OneManBand is back again, giving you guys another RWBY episode review. This weekend is just going to be chock full of them from me. Alrighty, name of the episode, World of Remnant 2, Kingdoms. Basically talking about the kingdoms of Remnant and how they cooperate. Now, it is concentrating on the 4 main kingdoms in this video, but there's a lot of really intricate details woven into the video that you can take notice of and just kind of brush off. The first of which is, at the very beginning, when it shows the planet from space, it shows the moon. And it shows that the moon actually has a giant crater in it. A big chunk of it has basically been ripped out of it. And what does this mean? Did something hit it? Was there an explosion? Was something inside? Did it break out? The grim creatures break out of the moon? Who knows? What this tells me is that my theory about the moon breaking apart, then coming back together every single month is wrong. Yeah, that was kind of obvious, wasn't it? But anyway, we got the 4 kingdoms. We got Atlas, Minstrel, Vacuo, and Vale. They're all stationed around the world accordingly, and I would say they form a sort of a kingdom coalition, where each of them is their own separate kingdom, but they share resources and technology and have trading options, free transportation with each other, but they govern themselves. So it's kind of like a coalition, city-states banding together, if you want to simplify it a little bit more. But something I did notice, Menagerie, the kingdom mentioned by Professor Oobleck back in Volume 1, that the Faunists were all trying to be relocated to, is not part of this coalition. Now, was that by their choice or by the kingdom's choice, the 4 kingdoms' choice? Only time will tell. But if Menagerie is still a kingdom to the present day in RWBY, then that means that they have been able to withstand the Grim Creature's attack without the help of the other 4 kingdoms. And if that is the case, they are the strongest in the world. Or they just have really good defense. Because it is stated in the video that each city is helped. Its defense from the Grim Creatures are both from human ingenuity and from natural barriers, such as plateaus, seas, mountains, deserts even. So, those kingdoms were founded on those very spots for protective reasons. Now, it's stated that every single kingdom is governed by a council, a governing council. Now, what does this mean? This means that each kingdom is some form of republic or democracy, where probably Senate leaders or leaders who are elected or chosen from the populace are made into politicians and govern over the kingdoms. So there's no kings or emperors or any militaristic leader like that. Each kingdom is a very diplomatic, democracy-esque, yeah, that's a word, like state. Under the governing councils are the military. Now the military, it was stated, are comprised of the citizens of the kingdoms. They can be, but there are also ones who like to be prepared. The narrator, who is Jen Taylor, if you didn't know, is probably hinting on Ironwood, how he's incorporating robots and mechs into the military to take the place of the human and faunist soldier. But I think one of the most important parts of this video is that it states that there are people living outside of the kingdoms, and they make a living outside the kingdoms. We have nomads and small villages. Nomads probably moving where the grim creatures aren't during certain times of the year, and small villages who either get help from the huntsmen and huntresses and or the military to protect them, or have some form of natural defense like the kingdoms. With this stated, it really opens up the possibility for the characters of RWBY to go out of the kingdoms and into the wild, where they're going to be meeting nomadic tribes and small villages who may have dirty little secrets. I just think the plot and story possibilities from this development are almost endless, which I love. At the very end of this video, it hints that if the four kingdoms were to break their ties with one another, they would collapse. Now, with that in mind, I'm going to take you back to my previous RWBY video where I talked about Cinder's plan for the Vinyl Festival. This is probably her endgame. She wants to divide the kingdoms so that they may not be warring with one another, but the power of the grim creatures may just be able to overtake the kingdoms one by one if they don't stand together. So, theory. The plan, Cinder's plan, is to divide the kingdoms. And then our heroines and heroes are going to have to go reunite the kingdoms and save the world. Just a thought, just a theory. Keep it in mind. It's cool. And I think I'm going to have to end this video here before I get a little too worked up. I mean, I gotta save stuff for you guys to take notice of, and you probably have taken notice of 1,000 things I haven't even thought of. But anyway, like and favor you've enjoyed. Subscribe, of course. The RWBY OC video is coming out soon, you guys. It is coming. And anyway, I will see you guys next time I'm out there in YouTube land. Be a nice person, tip your waitresses. Leave all your comments and theories down below. Yeah.